Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they interplay. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
He navigates, he manipulates, he cycles through progressions with laser-like focus. And he can make any tough throw that you need because he'll stand in the pocket and make it happen.
They go play action here on first down. An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Luck. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Credit the tackle there to Aaron Lynch.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now here's the first carry for DeMarco Murray. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
From the gun on third down, Luck. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sean Lee coming in to drop it for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
I think Aaron Rodgers is one of the poster boys for persistence and belief in self. Because coming out of high school, he had 0 scholarship offers in the D1 level, went to a junior college, went to Cal and just blew up there. And then, of course, there's a first-round draft pick, but a lot lower than what he expected in the first round, and then had to sit behind Brett Favre for a few years in Green Bay before getting his shot. Now he's probably one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen come down the pipe.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And McCoy loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot. Great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They start the drive with Hyde. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd down, Hyde. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. This is 3rd and 1, very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Kamara, try to run for it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beef eaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Rodgers going to go on 4th down. And able to find Green. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Not only is a slant route really difficult to cover, it's a real staple play for an offense on a 4th down because it's a quick-hitting play. Get the ball in the hands of the quarterback right to the receiver.
And the receiver has to be ready because that thing's coming on a rope. Now Rodgers. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Escaping the pressure right. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Malik Jackson. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. And an early sack there for Tampa Bay. Charles, that is a welcome sight.
A sight for sore eyes, you might say, right? Just 22 sacks on the season in 2017. And what they're hoping is some of their one-on-one guys can get home this year instead of having to scheme to try and get sacks.
And those 22 sacks last in the league a year ago. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting them.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Geno Atkins breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Out of the gun, Luck. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Khalil Mack able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
The Saints on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on second down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Play action. It's Love. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Mike Bennett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Handoff comes to Hyde. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
3rd and long, it's Locke. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. That's complete to John Ross. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's go, come on.
On first down, Rodgers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker, or maybe a defensive end dropping out in his own blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
Here's Rodgers looking to throw on second down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Jurrell Casey able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches. Well, it may not be a bunch here, but that is the third sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Zach Miller, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in Week 1. So do not press that skip button. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to go deep for Funchess. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Second and 10, Luck again. From outside, caught by Goodwin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
12 more yards there and another first down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the red zone now, Locke. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline.
Is under review.
What did we just see?
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a first and goal just inside the 5. To the air again, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's Locke. And he fires one that's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? I'm not even going to try to unpack that one.
Good move. Let's just leave that one alone, shall we?
Yeah, Cat's got our tongue here in the booth. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6. Because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone. But their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Yeah, set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. Now a play fake, and it's Locke. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Suckup will put this one right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started up at Lincoln Financial Field in Philly, where it was the visiting Falcons who were able to come away with the victory. The Falcons get off to a hot start as they get the road victory in their opener. From there, we head up to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. The Pat trying to start the season right and is looking good so far at home. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. The Bills looking for the win on the road in Week 1. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone. Everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Rodgers now on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Jump out.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Zone. Jump out.
56, the mic, boy, 56. Check, 56.
Now Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Flushed out right. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Luck now on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Murray. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to throw, Love. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it. And any way you can get the ball in his hands, he wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 more there and another first down.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
Rodgers now on first down. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Go.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Zerline good with a PAT. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, Wayne.
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling. Don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You can have the first one for the second one to even matter.
This one complete to Devin Funchess. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now a first down throw. Lock. Man open. It's Goodwin. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Again, Luck. Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers going to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Zoom. Yeah, Liz. Hey, check 26.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he slides to avoid the hit. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Hey, check 26. Zoom.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
4 down, check.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
319.
56 is Mike.
Oko, over here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hey, check 26.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Staying on his feet, stepping up, he'll try and run. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
The Saints on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Gun.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. He may try and run for this. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
No. 319. Liz.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. And now he'll tuck it and run. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? Rodgers with a keeper. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Aaron Rodgers. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Saints add on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week one. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week one. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
On 2nd and 10, Locke over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Throwing on third down, Locke. And Locke will be intercepted for a third time. Picked off by the safety, Eric Weddle. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
That's fine. Yeah, hurry up, hurry up.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 5. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.